Welcome to this new episode of The Disabled Life. The purpose of this podcast is to tell people how I live my life. The name I'm using on the podcast now is The Disabled Guy, because I felt that you needed to hear something as opposed to just my voice there. I'm a disabled male living in Florida with cerebral palsy. I'm here to tell you how I live my life and some of the volunteer work that I do and how I managed to do it with cerebral palsy. Without further ado, let's go into the episode. Okay, what I'm going to talk to you about today is something that I never think I would do, but here I am. A lot of people underestimate the disabled community. I hate that because people don't know what we can do. I'll give you a prime example of such. When I took my exams for amateur radio, when I took my technician test, I passed it by 1. When I took my general, I don't remember what I passed. And when I took my extra, which is the last license, the gentleman told one of the examiners told me, which this isn't right. One of the examiners told me, "You're not going to pass this." I'm like, oh God. And I was really frustrated and annoyed by that. I went ahead and did things. I went ahead and took it. I had to take the third one twice, because the first time I took the third exam, the amateur extra I just couldn't understand. I couldn't get the questions. I got a version of the exam that was not easy to do. I did not understand any of the questions. So I stopped it. So I studied again and I went back and took it. But here comes the ironic part of this. I was festering a infection in my elbow. I did not know. I got sick. I took it on Friday. I got sick on Sunday. I can never forget. It was Mother's Day. Man, I was sick. So I did what I had to do to get it passed. Did what it did. I took some strong antibiotics. Took care of that. Well, I passed my exam. And the way I realized I passed my exam, at that point there was the way they did the exam is they manually checked the exam and then they filled out proper they filled out CSCE's certificates of completion. When I saw that form was filled out and they handed it to me to sign, I knew I passed it. So I'll say, but there had to be 3 examiners to pass to grade it, which is still to this day the same rule. And now let me talk about another instance when I was I've been talked down to like that and multiple times, and this is very frustrating to me. You know, it's one of those things where, why do that to the disabled when we're trying our best to do the things that we don't want to do? It makes no sense to me at all. It makes no sense. When I was in high school, the same thing happened. I was told, "You're not going to be able to do it." I was told when I actually went to walk with my class on graduation day, I was told that I wasn't going to make it. One thing that happened to me when I was in high school, it was something that really annoyed me. If you're in special education classes for a disability or whatever, you have the option to stay till you're 21 years old. I had talked to my family, my mom and dad, and we decided not to do it because it wasn't necessary. Because all they're going to do, all they're going to do is they're going to give you 6 electives. I'm like, that makes no sense. And you can't get out, I believe. I don't know. You can't leave if you sign that. Another obnoxious thing that was continuously happening to me when I was in middle school, they kept wanting me. They kept some of the disabled community go to school until they're 21. But I said, why go? It's just a babysitting program. I'm pretty self-sufficient. If you leave me food, I can warm up my own food, whatever. And my mom worked for a while. After I got out of school, she used to work 8 hours a day. So she worked for 10 years. So that was fine. I was able to do that. She would leave me food, and then I would warm food in the microwave and eat right in the kitchen. So that was fine. I did that. Now let me talk about an instance that they would constantly do to me when I was in middle school. They kept offering me to go on the school bus for the summer, and I'm like, I don't go to summer school. The first year I told them, no, I don't need to do that. Okay, we'll do it anyway, just in case your mom and dad decide to send you. I knew they weren't, because she wasn't working at the time, so it was fine for me to be home with her and all this stuff. So then they offered that to me. And I said no. But after that first year, I decided, look, I'm not gonna argue with the people. I'm just gonna let them do their thing. And do that, and just do their thing. Then my mom would call and say, no, he's not going to summer school. Or when the bus would come the first day of summer school, I told them that I wasn't going. And I was not a conflicted person. So let me talk about this. I've been underestimated a lot of times and told that I'm not going to be able to do this and do that, and it's like frustrating. It's something that we shouldn't have to deal with. Let me give you another example. What was I doing? I was doing something. I was doing something for one of the organizations that I'm involved with, and the gentleman doesn't even know me, doesn't know who I am, and said to me, "Oh, what are you going to do?" I was with a group of people. I said, "Well, whatever they want me to do, whatever is needed." So I got put into a job. I was doing my job. I served food for 17 hours on a vehicle. 15 hours, I believe it was, some odd thing like that. So after that, the funny thing is that they kept asking to bring me out there, because you know what I would do? When I volunteer to do something, I do my job and I do it and I get it done, and I do not complain. I just do my job. I was exhausted, tired. I got home that night. When did I get home? I got home that night after getting up at 3 in the morning a couple of times in a row. I get home at night and I go to sleep at 11 o'clock. I'll get home and I'm like, oh, tired. And you know what was the funny part? This was the funny part. My aunt decided to call me at 7 o'clock in the morning. Oh, God, no. And I answered the phone. I'm like, okay. And then, I talked to her a little bit, and I said, I am so tired. I just, I'm throwing back to sleep. But, oh, my God, it's hard. But, it's the people that know me. Don't underestimate once they get to know me. Don't underestimate me. But if people get to know me, before they know me, they start to underestimate. And that's something I don't know why they do that. They don't know that we are able to do what we're going to do. And as I took my last exam, literally the person, the lead of the exam team, told me that I wasn't going to pass this. I'm like, Why are you talking like this? You can't talk like this, because if you talk like this, you may tell people something. People may believe it. I did not believe it. And let me make a statement. Oh, I forgot this. Yeah, I'm gonna make a statement. When I first took my first exam, I took a class of amateur radio. So they said supposedly, and that's the way it normally is. You actually you're supposed to get the exam from the book, exactly from the book. That's what they told us. But being that this team was not a field stock team, what a field stock team is a team that constantly just does exams. So what happened was we got exams that were different. But I didn't stop. You know what I decided to do? I said, okay, I'm going to take my test. I'm going to take my test and see what happens. I passed it by 3. But that's okay, because that's a pass or fail exam. A federal exam is pass or fail. You don't have to worry about the number. They don't even tell you the number of right or wrong answers. They actually are not allowed to do so. So, I'll tell you, don't underestimate the disabled. Let us do our thing. Let us work. We can do we can do things. We can do hard things. We may have to do things a little differently than you do or whatever, but hey, let us do our thing. We're gonna get our things done, and we do them. We get things done. It may be different. We may need rides from people. Whatever. It doesn't matter to me. It's really not. It's things that we do ourselves. It's things that we have to do. So it's, I don't sit home. I don't like to sit home. I like to be busy. Like right now, this is Sunday. This is Sunday at 6:03 p.m. But I have exams to do tomorrow. I have things I have exams to do. Then I want to take a couple of days off. Then I want to take a couple of days off. Then this will come out on Wednesday. This one comes out on Wednesday. So what's gonna happen is I have to edit this, and then I'll post it. This comes out Wednesday night, 10 p.m. So I have a couple of days off, and then I'll go in there and I'll do some self-study for a class that I'm taking online, and then we go on from there. And then Thursday I'll come back on again. Thursday I'll record again for next Saturday. Yeah, Thursday I'll record again for next Saturday. So you see how busy I am. I was talking to my mom today. And she said, I said to her, even though I'm not going anywhere, but I'm busy. And that's how I like to be, busy. I don't like to be sitting home doing nothing. Because, it keeps your mind straight. It keeps your mind going and whatever. It keeps your mind happy, and I don't like to just sit home. The reason I started podcasting, for those of you that don't know, is because all the volunteer opportunities that I had were shutting down because of the COVID, and I was just bored, and I started this because I wanted something to do. So that's the story. In closing, let me say thank you for listening to this episode of The Disabled Life. You can follow me on the following platforms. You can follow me at Good Pods. You can leave comments, messages there. You can also follow me on Twitter at The Disabled Guy. And you can also listen to me on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, and many others. Once again, thank you for listening, and I'll also give you my email. My email is Kilo Echo 4 Kilo Echo Yankee, or KE4KEY@gmail.com. Once again, thank you, and thank you for your support. and I'll see you next week. And also, in follow up to that closing, you can also rate me and leave messages on Spotify. And I didn't want to change the whole intro, but